We're putting the news aside, unless you want to talk about world politics and finance.
I'll pass. Yeah.
Okay, very good. Here it's Bronco Media Days, getting ready for football season, and they tell people, warn people against interviewing people you respect or admire and all that. Coach Danielson joining us here at the table, and I've never had the chance to say this to your face. I admire how you handle yourself. I've done programs based on people who've been critical of your language, or the opening prayer, if you will, before everything. There's a lot of people that actually do admire it, and I started seeing it all over the country as well. I don't know if there was a movement or if you spearheaded it or just everybody just got together and said, there's nothing wrong with offering prayer, with offering praise and all that. Start seeing that more and more, though, with players and coaches all over the country. Is it just happenstance, or was there some conversation that went into this?
Yeah, I mean, in regards to what's happening around the country, I mean, you see it, I mean, from the World Cup to NBA to NFL to college football. So cool to see guys just being open about their faith. I know for me, I've told our team this, I tell the media, it comes from a place that I really believe in my heart. The only reason I'm the head coach at Boise State is that Jesus brought me here to have an impact. Okay. And to pour into these kids. It's not for show. It's not for, hey, look how great I am. I've got this figured out. Like, I want to make sure people, guys, I'll make more mistakes than anybody. It's a heart of gratitude, pointing to my Lord and Savior, saying the reason I'm here is because I know Jesus brought me here to have an impact, and that's where I live. I'm not trying to please everybody. That's not why I did this. I came here to have an impact on these players, this community. That's what I'm called to do. And that's my heart. It's not because I've got this figured out or I'm better than somebody else. It's not. I've got a lot of things that I got to get fixed. But it's a heart of gratitude to my Lord and Savior.
But at the same time, we do get to put the news aside today and just focus on football, Bob, because September 5th is coming fast. We're here at Bronco Media Days. Bob Behler, voice of the Broncos, joining us here at the table.
And, Coach, as I look at this team, you've been here a lot of years, but as head coach, you've been here 3 seasons at the finish. Each team has their own personality. What do you think this year's personality is going to be, and how do you go about getting a 4th straight title?
Yeah, great question, Bob. In regards to the personality of this team, what I've seen, now we have not gone through fall camp, we haven't played any games, as we are very well aware of. I love the mentality of this team. What do I mean by that? We define mentality as your best no matter what. The mental toughness to always be your best. I see that right now with this team. Coaches are away getting a little bit of break in July. When Coach Hilgart calls me and says they had their best decks, this guy puked, almost passed out, but he kept. And there's no coaches. That's player driven. There's a mental toughness to be my best that's trained here. I love that about this team. I'll come in on a Saturday, which is our optional mobility day, and I'll just be walking through the building and I'll look around and be like, every single one of our players is here. That hasn't happened in the past. So I'm proud of the leadership of our team. I'm proud of our players. I want a badge of honor for the 2026 team to be nobody played harder than us. That's what I tell them. I want that to be our badge. We haven't done that yet. We got to earn the right to do that, but I want that to be our badge of honor.
Heard a word. There's a chaos flag, and I've heard chaos for years now. Heard a new word today. Violence.
Yep.
Starting to definitely hearing it from the defense.
Yep.
What does that mean to you?
Yeah, we talk about playing fast as one of our pillars in regards to play style, and that's 4 to 6 seconds of violence.
Okay.
And it came from our players. Our players talked about how do you want our team, it started with defense, but then our whole team to play violent. And that starts with the effort you play, the physicality you play with. And we all know, when you watch a team, you can tell a team that's violent. Mm-hmm. You can tell a team that's not, which we have other words for that. Right, and that's what we're training to do. That's trained, and it's not the guys that are always the biggest and the strongest. It's good to have a team that's big and strong, but it's the guys that play harder. It's the guys that through every whistle they are working their tail off.
Almost reckless abandon.
Because they care about the team. That's a violent team, and that's what we're trained to do.
Spencer, you're going to open up with arguably one of the top 3 or 4 teams in the country this year in Oregon. That team reminds me a lot of the team in 23 we opened with, which was Washington with Michael Penix at quarterback. You were the defensive coordinator on that team. What did you learn taking on somebody like a Washington that you think might be able to help you taking on Oregon this time?
Yeah, I think just the understanding that when you play a team like Oregon, the margin of error is much smaller. It's just the reality of the talent they have, who they have at quarterback, defensively. The margin of error is very small. We don't need to beat them 10 times. We need to beat them once, and that's not. And people have their own views on that statement. That's college football, and that's what you love about college football. This isn't the World Series where it's a best of 7. That's why you love college football. And so they've got a very, very talented team. I love our team though, and we've played them on the road before. We're gonna be ready. And I know our team's excited for the challenge. We haven't gotten it. Our coaches have game planned them. We game plan our first 3 opponents. But our players right now, our biggest focus is Boise State versus Boise State. That's what we have on our screens in our team room. It's Boise State versus Boise State September 5th. Because I got to make sure that our team doesn't beat themselves as we continue to train and process. We understand the task at hand. We know that they'll have the best quarterback in the cut. I can go down the list of all the players. Dan Lanny's done a phenomenal. I can go down the list. We know what's waiting for us. It's going to be about us. And for that 3.5 hours, we got to play harder than them. And I'm excited about our team.
Coach Spencer Danielson joining us here at Bronco Media Day as we get ready for the season. Every member, every fan, I think you probably want the game back. Last time Boise State faced Oregon. Since then, there seems to be the teams that get picked from and the teams who seem to be doing the picking. Oregon has they have the money. They got they got the logo. They got the backers. All that. How do you negotiate that challenge?
Yeah.
Over time since the last time to now.
True. Yeah, and that is the reality of college football. I don't spend a lot of time talking about that because I don't want anyone to ever feel like that's excuses. It's not. I mean, there's a job that we have to do, and that is September 5th. We have to find a way to beat Oregon, period, end of story. No different. We play Memphis game 2. But there is a reality to the fact that where Oregon is financially, their program, some of the things they're able to do, they're in a different situation than our program is. Does that mean they have a better team? I didn't say that. There's just they have some differences right now because of where college football has changed since we played them some of the years prior to 23. That's just the reality of what it is. Once again, what you love about college football is I believe we have enough, and I love our team. And now, when you play a team like Oregon, to Bob's question, the margin of error is going to be very, very small because they're going to be one of the most talented teams in the entire country. They're going to be one of the most well-coached teams in the entire country. That's why for us, we got to focus on being our best. And I believe if we're our best, it's going to be enough.
Here at Bronco Media Days, Nick Wade, Bronco Nation Update. You got Coach.
Yeah, Coach, without divulging too much info ahead of the matchup with Oregon, is there any position groups that still have questions, need answers heading into fall camp?
Yeah, I think when you look at our team, we were able to get some of these questions somewhat answered through spring ball, but our secondary is just a lot of newer players. You look at Sherrod Smith, who was able to start a few games last year. I mean, he's going to be a really, really good corner for us. Jaden Mickey played a lot for us at Nick last year, did a really good job. Derek Ganter. I'm just going to give a quick shout out to Jaden Virgin Morgan just because I'm looking at him, and we love it. Let's just clap it up. We'll clap it up for you. We love Jaden Virgin Morgan too. I want to make sure I said that. But I'd say our secondary, just because there's some. We had some seniors. Ty Benefield went in the portal. We have some guys that it's going to be a newer looking group. Terrence Brown, our defensive coach, has done a phenomenal job growing our secondary. But that's going to be a position to continue to look at and evaluate throughout fall camp. And now I want to make sure every single one of our position groups is going to be evaluated throughout fall camp. There's guys that are returning starters that if they're not on it in fall camp, they ain't going to play against Oregon. That's where our team is at now. If you ain't on it, you're going to stand by me and figure it out game 2. And then I'd say there's receivers. Ben Ford, phenomenal receiver, got hurt last year, working his tail back from injury. Cam Bates. And then we got some untested guys. We got some freshmen that I think are going to be really, really good. Got some transfers that I think are going to be really good. Got some guys that played a little bit last year going into their sophomore year. So I think our skill position on both sides, the receiver group on offense, the DBs on defense, are the two positions that if you were going to look at just to pick a couple, there's some things that we're going to have to figure out as we go through fall camp. I'm really excited for the competition because both those rooms I'm also really, really excited about. I think our staff did a phenomenal job with the new players, and our guys that have been here have stepped up in a major, major way.
Thank you for making it fun for us to put the news aside for the day. Just focus on football. Yeah. Coach Spencer Danielson, Thank you so much, man. Good luck to you.
Thank you. Thank you, Bronco Nation.
Getting ready for Bronco football here from Albert